I'm going to teach you how to improve your performance. So, the number one cause for bad performance is actually the one that's the most easiest to fix, and that's called scale dependency. So, where do we have scale dependency playing? We have it for the visibility of the layers, and we have it for the labeling, right? And if you have poor performance, like if I were to, let's zoom out here, we would start seeing this map turning and turning and turning until it's ready to go. So the reason it's turning a lot is because I see too much data, and there's a really easy way to fix it. So just applying scale dependency. So you can go even layer by layer if you want to. Let's switch off all the layers. We only have one layer visible now. Let's turn off the points and ask yourself, in this scale, do I need to see all of this data or not? So we're now in 1 to 1500, and maybe it's going to be 5,000 or 10,000. But there'll be a time where it starts to make no sense to see so many parcels, for example, right? So 14,000, see so many parcels of this size makes no sense. You always have a base map to navigate to your work area. Nobody's going to do edits in this scale, and this is an editing map that you use every day, all day. It needs to be performant. So apply a scale dependency, and I would recommend even being more aggressive than you think. Let's say this can only be shown if you're under minimal scale of 10,000. So here you don't see anything, and if you are under 10,000, now you start seeing your parcels. How about lines? Do I need to see lines in this scale? Probably not. I'm not going to edit those lines. So let's apply a scale for lines. So select your lines and let's apply visibility scale of 2000 and press enter. Okay, so we've done it, and let's do the same for points. I'm going to now turn the points on and let's zoom out. We can see the point is still not happy, and look how many points we are seeing. They are not really helping anyone. So let's go to the points and also apply a scale dependency. And I'll choose 5,000, for example. And now I don't see them, and as I zoom in, they do appear. Great. So now that we have fixed those, the second thing to fix is the labeling. So we'll switch to the labeling, and there's a button here that is called View Unplaced Labels. Press this, and every label that cannot be drawn will be shown in red. And if you see a lot of red, that means that you are paying the price for the map, for the labeling engine to evaluate where to put the label, but you are not seeing the label. So if after the labels are not showing, that means you paid the price for almost no good reason. So the next thing you want to do is change the minimal scale on your classes. So let's start with the parcels here. We see a lot of red parcel numbers. The parcel number, let's see, we have two classes here. One is called full and one is called partial. So in this scale, we are at 999 and we see a lot of red. So you know what? I'm going to restrict the full number only to show until minimal scale of 600. And that already helped a lot. But for the partial, we now have to change it, right? So the partial will show, instead of 1001, we'll put 601. And now above 601, we still have some red, so we can still change it, but something to consider. Now, do you want to see Togo in this scale? I don't know. It's up to you. It's now set to 1 to 2000. You can change it. So work with your scales, and now you can see in this scale, there's still few reds in here. So it's not optimal, but on the edges it's fine. We can just pan in your working scale and see if you get any reds. And if you get reds, that means that you might want to reconsider the scaling for your labels. Let's do the same for the points. I'm going to turn off the lines for a second. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're not going to draw too much. And we're going to scale to above 2000 here. So we still see the points here. And do we see unplaced labels? Yes, the fixed points do have a label, and we can see that most of the labels are not showing in this scale. So for this map, especially for this customer, it does not make sense to show labels in such scales. So we can reduce it. Maybe we're going to set it to 2000 as well. So now we can see the points, but we're not paying the price of labeling. And I'm using here a map that consumes web services from a development server that is virtualized. So with real data, 1.5 million parcels. So we are using real data and a real map to evaluate performance. And now things look much, much better. Of course, you might have other layers turned on in the same time, like simultaneous conveyance, subdivisions, and so on. So you might want to go through this process with every layer you have, including the historic layers, right? Don't forget the historic layers are also have their visibility and labeling. And this is the number one tip to make sure that you're not pulling too much data, trying to label too many features when it doesn't make any sense. And this will greatly improve your experience, and you will be waiting less for maps to pull data and refresh, making you more productive. So that's the big secret, and it's easiest to fix. So go ahead and apply it to your maps. Thank you.